Hi, Susan for Slcaquatics coming to you about substrates, and in this instance, deep bed substrates. I don't study the Wallstead method, but I do understand nature is still better than what man-made can do. You might ask why cap your substrate with 1 or 2 inches of sand. The natural process in a creek bed or a river, a lot of times you, without underwater footage, have no idea what goes on. I have a creek that that covers 2 sides of my property, and so a lot of times during heavy rain it will raise its water level to a lot of natural red muddy water, and even the livestock that's in the creek is constantly changing. I don't know the names of the fish and that live in my creek, but that'll be another subject on another day. So in nature, when high waters come in and wash away and erode the bottom of the creek, the sides of the creek, a lot of times it's washing away old, aged substrate, and with it brings in new top layering of the substrate. And within that top layering, there's going to be new nutrients, new food sources, and sometimes it can bring bad things in. But after all of the water rushing over it settles and the water levels subside or decrease because it's not having excess water volume brought into the natural environment, it will settle out and clear. And then you have a new layer of substrate on top of the old substrate, and underneath in the old substrate are what they call, when you have the exchange of sediment within a natural creek or riverbed, the waters that are washing in are bringing in new nutrients and new sediment on top of the old substrate or the old sediment base of the creek or riverbed. Also, you will have an exchange of nutrients, and the undersoil will be what we call the dirty soil, and the new sediment on top is the sterile. So, in my aquariums, I have mostly gravel aquariums. But over the last year, I have gone through some transitioning into deep bed substrates, only because the fluctuation of pH in my aquariums have been a problem in the past, and I also love as natural as possible in my aquariums. When I first got started, I did like the typical basic beginner, and I got an aquarium. I added some gravel substrate and plastic plants because I knew nothing about planted aquariums. And over the years, I've learned and transitioned all of my aquariums to planted aquariums, with an exception plastic plant here and there, mainly because I'm trying to propagate more of my live plants to spread them out in my aquariums. So today's subject is the results of one of my aquariums. It's been 6 weeks since I capped old, dirty gravel substrate with 2 inches of black sandblasting sand. And today I'd like to bring you into some of the results. Good morning. I know everyone is kind of wanting to have some kind of update on the 20-gallon that I capped original gravel, old dirty gravel with 2 inches of black sandblasting sand. And the first video showed immediate results in the water column being clean. I also cleaned out the hang on the back filter. And it didn't really have any planted plants. So I put this driftwood of Java fern, I glued Java fern on the back of the wood, and the little terrarium in the back I planted a cryptocorn wendii or wendedii. And again, there is a mulmy dirt in the bottom of the hornswort. The surface gets a mulm dust on it sometimes, and listening to Father Fish the other morning, he said it's okay to clean the tank up with a gravel vac, but do not disturb the sand. Just swish it back and forth across the surface and, you know, clean up the mulm. I still don't know what the water qualities are, so I will do the water testing and add it to this video. But as far as changes to this aquarium is, you have to cut back on your feeding. Observe and enjoy your aquariums. Here are the results of the ammonia and nitrite testing in the 20-gallon, and it does appear there's a trace of ammonia, but there are 0 nitrites. So I do know I need to take action because there should be no ammonia, and you can see there's a trace of ammonia present according to the master test kit. Wow, the nitrates are higher than I thought they were going to be, but according to the lighting and the master test kit, I do believe this is reading between 80 and 160 ppms, which are still way too high. So action is needed in this aquarium. After a water change, and I washed out the hornswort, and it began to shed, so I will have to go back in and vacuum some more of the leaves that fell off the hornswort.